Hey guys, well shit. I went and used a new camera for the first time and didn't realize stuff, and Data had to be annoying about it. Turns out we lost a couple of the questions, so I'm gonna cut it together best I can. Apologize if there's more interest for it, we'll reshoot it.
But we've got a situation here.
Please say cake farts, please say cake farts, please say cake farts. To give us a look at what we can expect in the coming year.
What's up guys? Alright, so we're what, week 19? Something like that. We've been doing this a while now, almost half a year. And about now, I imagine you're starting to wonder, who the hell are we? Why are these people vlogging? Why should we even care? So we thought we'd just do a quick little video, get to know you guys a little bit better, answer a few questions about us, where we came from, who we are, what we do. Yeah, so we wrote a few down. If you have any more questions though, please feel free to drop them in the comments. I'll remind you at the end, hopefully. Remind me to remind you. Alright, so without further ado, let's get started. So I guess the first question is, who are we? So.
Yeah, well, my name is Rebecca, as you probably already know now.
Probably.
And I guess some of my nicknames, well, let's see, it depends on who you ask. My best friend would call me, we have a thing, we call each other Gumby and Pokey. I'm Gumby because I'm tall. Actually, no, she's Gumby. I'm Pokey.
Which is
I
odd.
poke her all the time. I'm tall. I always
Should
think
be
I'm
Gumby,
but
right?
I'm Pokey, right?
know.
Yes. Yeah.
I call her Reebs sometimes.
Reebs, that's a
Recently
common one.
Ribs was a new one, because she's a little skinny. We try not to bug her about this. Sometimes I call her Roberta or Becky, just to piss her off.
Yeah,
But that's
I
just
don't go by Rebecca or by
Roberta
Becky.
or Becky or any of
no.
those. Or
Only
even
Rebecca.
Becca, really, just Rebecca.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your name?
I'm Matt, of course. Matthew with one T, get it right.
Yeah.
Even Matt with one T, a lot of people spell it M-A-T-T, not me. I haven't had a lot of nicknames in my life. I mean, people have called me silly things like Method Matt and stuff like that. I seem to have a technique for everything, so blah blah blah.
Matches.
Matches was one from an early age. All my uncles and my brother still calls me Matches. Yeah, and a couple other ones that I probably can't say because they're a little R-rated. But mostly those are from my brother.
I was born in a small town in Nova Scotia. It's pretty small, not very remarkable, not very exciting, so not much more to talk about. Matt has a much more interesting story than I do.
I guess so. I was born out west. I was born in northern town, BC. Again, pretty small town. Not a lot to talk about there. We lived there till I was about 8, 7 or 8. At which point we moved to Edmonton. We stayed there for a little while. My brother continued to go to school, but I took about 8 months off of school, so that put me a year back. From Edmonton, we decided to just get on the road and start driving. We were gonna drive east and just keep going until we found somewhere we liked. We kind of dipped into the States and did some touring. We got all the way to the East Coast. We got to PEI, and you can't drive any further, so we had to stop there. We ended up living there for a few months, going to school, that sort of stuff. Wasn't really our town though, the place we stopped in. So we that summer decided to pack back up, head back west, and this time for sure we would find a place along the way. We'd stop for sure. We were just gonna. And then we got all the way to Nanaimo, got to the west coast, and we couldn't drive any further, got to Vancouver Island. So we stopped there, we lived there for a little while, and then we finally ended up in Banff, Alberta, a little tourist town there for a little bit of my teenage years. And then from there I moved a few more times, the west coast and kind of interior BC, and then at some point, I guess 11 or 13 or 15, I can't even remember how many years ago, my parents called me. They had purchased a home in Nova Scotia, and my dad was offered a job out of country. They were just there a few months and said, hey, you want to come to Nova Scotia and look after our house for us while we move? So I did, reluctantly. It took me a little while, but I did. I came. I decided to go to school. Went to college for a little bit, and after not even a full year of that, I met this lovely lady.
And the rest is fate.
Yeah, and history and all those things.
Yes. Right. What's your favorite color?
My favorite color. It kind of changes every year, but probably purple if I had to pick a favorite color, which is odd because I don't have a lot of purple stuff. But I've always digged that like metallic purple and like Lamborghinis, that like iridescent, I don't know, something about that. At the moment though, it's like vibrant green, vibrant orange.
Everything he owns is green.
Yeah, it's funny.
Neon green.
What's your favorite color?
Purple.
Which is funny, right? And I actually didn't plan this. But sorry.
Stole my glory.
And she really does own everything purple, so it really is her favorite color.
True, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, astrological sign. I don't want to say when we were born exactly, you know, internet privacy stuff, all like that. But generally, what's your sign?
Technically, I'm a Leo, but I feel that I fall more in the Virgo sign.
Yeah,
it meets my personality more.
But I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm a Cancer. I am a true full-blood born Cancer. I am a sap and all that stuff. So yeah, that's me. That's me for sure. What about siblings? You got a couple of brothers and sisters, more than I do.
I do. I have one brother who's a few years younger than me. He is now a doctor, just graduated from medical school, so that's awesome.
In his residency right now, is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he's graduated from med school, doing his training in family medicine, so good job.
Yeah.
And then when I was younger, my mom remarried, and they decided to have kids, so I have a half brother and sister. They're twins. And they are graduating from high school this year, so they're 17 years
17,
old.
damn.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the siblings I have. They feel kind of like my kids more than my brother and sister.
The twins, I imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just have one brother. He tortured me my whole life, so it kind of feels like I have
older brother.
Older brother, 4 years older.
Yeah.
So I was always the too young to join in, but I was still sent off to join in, so it was always like, Matt, hurry up, come on, hit that jump first, see if it kills us, that sort of stuff. So we had a lot of good times, but just the two of us made for easy travel in a car around North America, which we did a lot of.
Speaking of, how many houses have you lived in while you were traveling?
Oh shoot, yeah, I haven't done a count lately. Last time I counted it was 42, I think, something like that. 42 different houses, and that's not like
30s when I met you. Yeah.
You know, there's been a lot of places where I've stayed for a couple of weeks, or we went to a town and pitched a tent for a few weeks. That's not considering any of that. That's actual like paid rent houses. Yeah, like 40 some now.
Yeah.
Jesus, too many.
That's crazy. Okay. Oh, and what's your favorite candy bar?
Oh, this is toughy. Because there's a lot of American candy bars that I've had, but let's keep it to Canada.
Yeah. One chocolate bar you couldn't live without.
Yeah, if you could only have one kind for the rest of eternity, like every time you went to the store, there was going to be the one kind of candy bar there. What would it be?
Oh, Henry. For sure. Couldn't live without Oh, Henry.
I'm so torn, but I think it's funny because I don't buy it all the time, but I think it'd be Mars bar.
Really?
If it had to be like one kind for the rest of my life, it'd be Mars.
Yeah.
Which is funny
between Mars and Oh, Henry, we'd be pretty good.
Yeah, if you could, exactly. The two of us would be stoked. We'd be set. It's a good marriage.
Yeah.
And that leads us into the big question, of course. What the hell do we do for a living? Let's start with ladies, of course.
Well, thank you. Well, I am a registered veterinary technician, aka jack of all trades, I'd like to say.
You went to school for that. What kind of schooling did you do for that entirely?
I went and got a Bachelor of Science degree. That wasn't necessary, but I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be in the field of healthcare, but I wasn't sure on animal or human, so...
Her mom's a doctor, her brother's a doctor. There might have been a little bit of pressure there.
Yeah. So anyway, I got my Bachelor of Science degree in biology and decided that I wanted to do animal versus human medicine. And did some work in a vet clinic for a while at emergency clinic and really liked that and decided that I wanted to be a technician. Kind of like an animal nurse. They kind of do everything other than they can't prescribe and do most surgeries and diagnosis.
But they're also kind of, anestheticians. They're also radiologists. They, you know, they're
I place IV catheters. I induce pets to go under anesthesia. I monitor their anesthesia.
that.
I run all the blood work. I collect the blood. I
looks through the
administer the
microscope to look for
medicines.
all the bad stuff in
I
the
look at all
blood
the,
and the
you know,
urine.
the cytology and everything as well too. So yeah, so that's what I do. But I also am a hospital manager at the clinic that I work at right now. We call them site coordinators, but it's essentially a hospital manager. So I split my days between those two jobs, and it keeps me very, very busy.
Super busy, super
Yeah.
busy. This has been a crazy year for both of us, and then of course, you know, starting in December, things have just been completely haywire.
Yeah, so it
and
was-
we had to decide to start vlogging this year,
Yeah,
just to
throw in, you know,
make
another
the week
thing.
even more stressful.
We didn't have enough to do.
Yeah, well, and you know, this whole vlogging thing, and I'll get back to the career thing in just a second, but vlogging, you know, the reason why I love this, why, you know, we keep doing it, even though it does add a fair bit of extra stuff into the week, is just the creative freedom to be able to, you know, just put together a little video of my own, and the editing, and, you know, choosing all the little stuff. I don't know, I really like doing that.
Yeah. Plus the memories. It's,
Yeah,
It's awesome to have these memories as well. Too.
that was, you know,
That's
the
what I
biggest
like.
reason we started.
Yeah.
You know, continuing to do it. There's lots of reasons to stop all the time. I'm like, there's so much to do, but you know, the reason we started doing this was to chronicle our life. You know, we've been married now a few years, and together 13 or 14 years, and we don't have a ton of pictures of stuff we've done. You know,
No.
we take a lot of photos of
Other people and
flowers
other
and,
things.
and weddings we go to, but our stuff, our daily life,
Yeah.
and you know, the things that happen with the dogs and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So that's why we started vlogging. Long answer, I know. Sorry,
Back to your career. What do you do for a living?
but I
then?
digress. So I went to school to be a computer programmer. I enjoyed that. Quickly forayed into web development. I just kind of started my own web development company and did that for several years. I made several websites. A few of them were pretty big, and then, you know, companies go under, or get sold, or what have you. There's still a few good ones out there though, and I probably manage a dozen more at the moment. And then that slowly, when we moved to Truro 5 years ago, before we bought this house, the iPhone came out, and I've been an Apple geek my whole life. No kidding, since I was about 4 years old, I've been playing with Macintosh computers. And so, you know, I had the first iPhone that was available in Canada, and immediately I thought, oh, maybe I'll just make some little silly app for the iPhone. And I made this little fingerprint app, and I was hoping to sell like 100 copies, and the thing exploded.
Oh, God.
I sold thousands of copies, and it made me realize that this whole Apple ecosystem was going to be something big. Around the same time, I started getting into shooting. I've always been passionate about guns ever since I was a kid. And at the time, there wasn't really anything shooting related on the iPhone, so I made what's called a ballistic calculator, which essentially just you type in a bunch of numbers, and it gives you solutions to shoot at different yardages. And I developed that for the iPhone. I was the first one out on the iPhone, and have developed a couple other shooting related apps around that. And so that's what I do at the moment, you know, for a full-time job, is manage those apps and keep that up to date. And you know, I take the odd project on the side as well. I've been building a fairly large e-commerce website over the last year and a bit, and that sort of stuff too. So that's what
And
we
fix
do.
people's computers.
Oh yeah, I guess I'm kind of the family fix-it guy too. Yeah, and the
Side jobs have always, you know,
yeah.
fixed.
There's always a
computers.
laptop here. I don't
Yeah.
have a bag handy, but I'm sure there is one.
Yeah.
So. So Rebecca, where's all the kids? That's
We
what
have-
our
we
parents
have
ask, right?
fur babies.
Where's the kids?
Yeah.
Aren't they having any kids?
We get that question a lot.
We do. We've
Yeah.
been married now, you know, together
Yeah.
13, married 3 years almost, coming up in June.
And our friends are starting to have kids and all that.
My brother just had a
Yeah.
kid. I'm an uncle. Woohoo! But it's a question we get a lot.
Yeah.
What's the
and
answer?
Not at this moment. It's just not on the horizon. It's not something we're both really gung-ho to pursue right now. We're quite happy with the way life is, and yeah, so we're just going to keep it that way. We've got 2 greyhounds, as you all know, that are like our children, and
We
spoil
really
them
do
quite a
consider
bit.
them children. You know,
Yeah.
Daisy's death was, you know, I don't want to compare it to losing a daughter because I've never lost a kid, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was equivalent. I'm sure
Yeah.
if I ever lost a kid, I might change my tune. But at the moment, I
Yeah.
something like that was just destroying, you know. So we treat these boys and girls like our kids, and we give them everything we can. And you know, they got 5 different jackets and 6 different beds and a medicine cabinet bigger than ours.
Yes, they eat better than us. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
They're pretty
we feed them
pretty
lots.
well off. So.
And we got our big fish tank too.
Yeah, we have
I
a
look after
100
that
and some
every week.
gallon tank,
120 gallons.
Yeah,
and,
it's like
you
a bathtub.
We got a pleco in there that's about this big.
aka algae eater.
Algae eater, sorry.
We call her Wilma.
Wilma, our dinosaur fish. So we're really
Pretty
the
awesome.
the
We'll have
tank
to
is
show
about
you
her.
guys her sometime if she ever comes
Comes out
out.
on
She's
film.
kind of shy with the camera, so.
She's shy. So the last thing I've got written down here is where are we going? Where are we headed? What's going on over the next 5 years? Where do we see ourselves? Are we traveling? What's going on? It's a good question. And neither one of us have a good answer at the moment, so we're just going to
working on
talk
that.
this out
Yeah,
and
we're trying
see
to
what happens on film.
Yeah. Trying to figure that out. We know we want to travel. We
Yeah.
both like to travel and see lots of different places. We'd love to get to California here soon. That's our biggest one, California, Las Vegas. We love it in Las Vegas, so we'd love to be back there soon.
Yeah, and you know, we're talking about potentially moving or taking our lives a little bit different direction. We'll see what happens over the next 6 to 8 months. There's been a fair bit that has been going on over the last several months, so we haven't been able to really think future much. It's a lot of the present, enjoying the present,
reacting
taking
to the present.
taking every day that we can, that sort of stuff, especially with a lot of sick loved ones. So we're going to spend the next several months, especially over the summer, you know, really talking about and figuring out what we're going to do next. But we're stoked about going somewhere potentially and starting some new fun project.
Yeah.
But definitely California and Vegas. We're going to get there as soon as
Yes.
possible.
If we go, we'll take you along with us.
Well, heck yeah. All right, guys, that's everything we had for today. I hope it was a good spread of questions, and I hope you feel like you kind of know us a little bit better anyway. Let us know if you like this kind of stuff. We got a couple more videos similar to this. Sit down, chat, talk some stuff out with you. Let me know if you like that kind of stuff,
Or if you have more questions that you want to get answers to.
Yeah, maybe we missed some stuff. I imagine I couldn't have thought of everything. Come on. Looking forward to this week, though. We're finally all the snow's gone, so we're starting to get outside, starting to do spring stuff.
Feeling like spring, April showers. They say bring May flowers, so
Let's
we
hope
should
so.
Start preparing.
Yeah, start preparing those flowers, so we'll get the gardens all ready, and still waiting on the greenhouse to get started, but that's super exciting too. So lots to happen. Thanks for coming out. We'll see you next Friday. Peace and hair grease. Is that all right?
Yeah.